Okay.
Okay, cool. Well,
So we're gonna do like an intro, right?
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
Introduce ourselves,
Yeah.
whatnot.
all right. I'll start.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome everybody to Breakers of Breakdown. All new podcast. This is going to be our first official episode. We've kind of done a couple of tests that have gone on way longer than we thought they would, and we were here for hours on end. So there's a little bit of a proof of concept there. But it's I'm accompanied by my
Jeffy.
friend Jeffy and Caden here. I've known Jesse for a long time. Really just started getting to know Caden. We're really into, a lot of music, but more specifically rock, post-hardcore, emo, and those kind of bands.
All kinds of stuff, but music's really important to all of us. It's been ingrained in us from an early age. I grew up with a music producer dad, and so just been around music my whole life. And then my Jesse, he's actually my brother-in-law, and he's one of the best drummers in the world. He's world renowned, and he kicks ass. He has toured with bands like I don't know, Metallica, August Burns Red, Matt Greiner left him.
Renaissance.
He took over for August Burns Red. Yeah. So Jesse is an amazing drummer. He's the shit. And so we actually have an actual musician on this panel, which is good. I think we really need that. Because we know a lot about music, but it's like, we can't really play shit. I don't know.
No.
I know Jesse can.
In a cringy way, I played drums in high school, and I kind of know what I'm doing.
I played guitar as a child.
Funny enough,
Recorder.
last night, I think, I played drums at my buddy Ozzy's house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so bad. It was atrocious. And I was like, okay, I'm not as good as I once was, or wasn't good then. But
It's a humbling experience to sit down and you're like, oh yeah, cool, let me show you what I got. And you're like, now what do I do?
Well, tell us about yourself, Jesse. Talk about your band and everything.
Okay, yeah, so I've been playing drums since I was in 6th grade, so like 12 years old or something. I was a big fan of the movie Drumline at the time, so I was in
The printout?
Yeah. So I was in marching band and stuff in middle school because that was as close as I could get to the real drums. And I've just always been fascinated by drums. Even my first concert, went to go see Creed.
Hell yeah, I remember that.
Kane was there at that concert.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I was always fascinated by just watching the drummers and stuff. Grew up on Guitar Hero and Rock Band and that kind of thing.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, man, I've been playing, been gigging with country band, Southern rock band. Play with 2 bands right now. But yeah, we just kind of gig around.
What are the bands?
Well, Coaching 4, that's a local band here in Plant City. We play around at local bars and whatnot. Same thing with the Peacemakers. I've been playing with them since high school. We're kind of on and off, but yeah. Or Renaissance.
They're an iconic band in our town, guys.
Probably
The
a joke that'll
Yeah.
occur often. One time when we were in high school, Jesse was like, I can't think of a new name for the band. Do you have any suggestions or whatever? He's like, I want to do something that's bringing it back. And I was like, oh, Renaissance. And so for the last 10 years, that's his band's name to me.
That's
is
so
Renaissance.
funny. I hadn't heard that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
imagine?
that's when I refer to the
We are
Peacemakers.
Renaissance.
Yeah, same band.
That's
for
great.
little to no reason. But I've actually known Jesse for more than half of my life, but I didn't know it. So
What age? You guys were elementary school together?
Me and
Kindergarten.
for first grade. Was it kindergarten?
kindergarten. Who'd you have kindergarten? Miss Brownlee?
No.
Miss Cole?
It's Crawley.
Miss Cole?
Crawley.
First grade?
Miss
No,
we had first grade Miss Cole. We had that.
So it was first grade.
That was our first meeting, and then we went to middle school together.
But I remember having this close friend in first grade, but you don't have any recollection really as an adult. And then Jesse and
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up, fuck you. Wait, what do you mean?
I
You
thought-
knew me?
I thought, yeah, I knew you. And
You
it
knew
was-
I was from that first grade class.
I think I realized you were in it at some point, but I, didn't hold on to it. Me and Dallas were best friends in first grade.
Right,
But
well,
no.
we were though, right? We were
In first grade? Or-
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Really? No, I don't know. I remembered having the super close friend that always wore fucking like the
Fingerless
sweat
gloves.
arm.
Sweatbands?
Yeah,
That was really
Oh.
cool.
that was you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck this guy. He was my best friend, but he didn't fucking know me, I guess.
And that's the end of the podcast, folks. It's
Well,
been real.
short-lived. I'm out. But no. So we were in middle school. We were friends, and we were friends in high school. But we've always been like super close friends at school, never close
Yeah.
friends outside of school. And I found this picture buried deep, and I was like, my last name's Cotton, his is Butterworth, and we were sitting like right next to each other, and I was like, oh my God, this is that guy. We still didn't become close friends at all. It wasn't until
Wasn't until
10 years after high school
was that like
did we really start to become super close
no,
friends.
we became pretty good friends in like 8th grade. I mean, we went on that field trip and
Well,
stuff.
like school friends.
Yeah. School
But never
friends.
like outside. But what's so crazy is we know so much about each other. And we always have, because anytime we're together
Dude,
at
I knew
school,
about
we just like,
you, and I was
Yeah.
like, I always thought, yeah, we're pretty good friends, and so yeah, I mean, hearing all this is quite the revelation.
yeah. Well,
Wait.
okay, so we were close
just
friends,
kidding.
but we weren't close enough
No,
to where
yeah.
for his wedding, they were like, oh, tell me, how did you pick me to officiate?
So me and Kelsey wanted to get married, but being we come from different religious backgrounds, we didn't want like a pastor or like somebody like that to marry us. So we just kind of wanted like
A neutral party.
a neutral party, but somebody that we knew, somebody that just wasn't some random person. And we're like, who would be good for this, and who would want to do it? And we were both just immediately like Dallas.
Which is, but like, and that's a testament to like we were so close that I came up, but we weren't close enough to where to the three of us it was all like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool surprise. Like
Yeah.
like it wasn't until they actually sat and thought about it. I wasn't like,
So you two are an ordained minister with the Universal Life Church.
yes sir.
Right on, my
Well,
brother.
that's what's up, baby.
We are
We're
the
gonna
most.
plug
high.
UFL University ULF.
Oh yeah, I'll
ULC?
plug
I don't even
UFOs.
know.
That's another episode. Folks.
UFOs.
Okay.
But so yeah, and they bring that back. I heard.
Boy, that
but so, yeah,
theme
that's
song
kind
gave
of
me nightmares my whole life. That scarred me as a child. That UFO.
X-Files?
X-Files
Yeah.
soundtrack. Yeah, the theme song to it. My parents would put it on and like laugh because it would make me scream. I'd freak out because it would give me nightmares. I
But
was
it's
so
the
afraid.
like they're just like you can't watch it. Like, did you ever watch it?
I did, and it scared the crap out of me.
Really?
And I heard the theme song.
I never
and
really
ever
found
since
it
I
to
was
be like
mm-mm.
super.
I was a kid though, like it was
Even as a
on
kid,
TV,
yeah,
and
maybe
I was
better
like,
than
"Mm-mm." You are, yeah. I'm a big pussy, so don't worry about it. But yeah, no, it that was terrifying. What were we talking about? We just got on X-Files. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're talking
I have
about
no idea.
your friendship.
Friendship.
And,
So, I mean, tell us a bit about you, Kate. I mean, you kind of said that your dad.
yeah, yeah. I have a
music
dad.
producer.
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
He does
Yeah.
music, and yeah, they had me, and I love music too, and
But what are some of the bands and stuff that you like that we'll probably dive in?
dude, we'll get into it all, but I mean, it's come a long way with music. I mean, I've been all over the place. I mean, I started out on like that Tarzan soundtrack, like shout out Phil Collins, The Lion King. I was into cassettes as a kid. I'll just be listening to my cassettes.
Nice.
It was always like the soundtracks and stuff like that. But then when I started to like become less of a kid and more of like a little boy, I got into like Linkin Park and POD, Evanescence.
Turned into a man.
I started to become a man. No, but literally my dad was like, he heard like Evanescence and he was like, you should check this out. I think you'll like this. And then that was
So
like,
hard.
so good.
So heavy.
But then I heard like POD and Linkin Park, and those were the two bands that really got me like into rock at the time. And Hybrid Theory had come out, and then Meteor. I was able to like be super excited for the release of Meteor by Linkin Park. Which to any Linkin Park fans, Hybrid Theory and Meteor are the shit. Those are the best, albums in my opinion from Linkin Park. Rest in peace, Chester. But then POD, man, I fucked with POD hard back in the day, man. They're still going at it, but
What is POD?
POD, that's just the name of the band. They're called Payable on Death, but they were like a
Oh shit. Okay.
kind of like they're from like San Diego, but they
Look it up,
bring. Yeah, Jamie, pull up POD. No, we don't have to get into POD.
Right.
But anyway, went into that, got into Limp Bizkit for a bit as a kid, like rolling. I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude, this is heavy, this is sick. And then from there, got into like some gangster rap, and then got out of rock music altogether and just got into rap music. and then got back into rock like Slipknot, Kill Switch, Engage, August Burns Red. All of these get Disturbed back in the day. Like middle school is really when my taste went back to like metal.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I started dating Jesse's sister, Rachel, and that's when I met Jesse. And then I was really big in all of that music too, so I was able to leave, influence Jesse in that direction into that, because he already was into music, but hearing that kind of heavier stuff and then you playing drums, you're like, oh shoot, dude, this is sick. This is some awesome stuff. And that was fun. That made me like it more too. But then getting to go to some of those bands and like see August Burns Red with you and go to a bunch of those shows was always a good time.
Yeah, now that I think about it, actually, I think if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have been to a lot of concerts, to be honest. Because, like back in the day, we used to go see Traverser and stuff all the time.
Local Orlando band.
Yeah, I think seeing a lot of those small bands too, like the little venues, like really kind of sparked my taste for music. I mean, I like I said, I already like music, but seeing some of those small bands and then like I don't know, just going to all the shows at House of Blues and stuff.
It's the best, man. I love House of Blues.
I do too.
But you got to play, didn't you? Or you got to go backstage? Or
I didn't get to play there. I got to. It was a local band we used to go see all the time called Stories In. They were out at Orlando, and I got to help them one time. Like
that's right.
I basically just be their roadie, but I was all for it because I had seen like freaking Dave Mustaine. We've seen them there.
Oh yeah, Megadeth.
Yeah, Megadeth and
Fear
Nonpoint.
Factory.
Yeah, I've seen some Killswitch Engage, seen some bigger bands there. So
That was my 21st birthday.
I remember that.
That was December 10th on my 21st birthday, and we were there with like his mom and a family friend, and we went to like pulled over at a gas station. He went in and I think I went in and bought
you went in and got your first beer.
like one of those tall boy like Bud Lights or whatever. And so that was so exciting. I just drank it in the car on like his Suburban on the way.
And they didn't even ID you.
No, I know. I was like, really? I just turned 21. They're like, all right, that'll be $6 or whatever. I was like, yeah, you don't want my ID? But no, that was a good time. We've been to so many shows though, but we have so many stories, and that this whole podcast, I mean, it's called Breaking Down Breakdown, so we're going to get into, music and breaking down music that we like and getting into breakdowns too, but then just talking about concerts, talking about the scenes, all kinds of different bands. I mean, we listen to all kinds of stuff. It's not just rock. I mean, we're just fans of live shows, live entertainment in general, so we're going to get into...
Yeah, I mean, it really started because I just got into this. Like, I always had an interest, but I don't know what it was.
When you say this, you mean like
the scene, music,
going
rock,
to concerts.
Going to concerts, watching the video, just like leaning into all the memes that you see about people like us. And I was like, I buy that. So there was a upcoming show I had just discovered, Saturdays at Your Place. Saturdays at Your Place. They're the ones that brought this together, really. Man.
It is, man.
Yeah, like if I had to put it all on one band, it'd be Saturdays. But I fell in love with them, their sound, everything they had going for them. I had been listening to Midwest emo. That's kind of like my... That's my
got his fingers on the pulse of Midwest emo, and
I really fucking do.
I don't know. It'll be bands like on Instagram with like 200 followers. You're
The next week they're up to 10K, and I'm like,
yes, but they're good, and it's so fun. That's what I've really appreciated about getting to know you too. Is you've introduced me to so many new bands that I just never would have heard of.
Yeah, you asked me too.
There's so many out there that it's hard. You can't keep track of them all. So it's great to just meet people that can introduce you to that kind of music.
Yeah.
So I want this podcast to be that too, where we can introduce anybody who cares or wants to watch us. We can introduce them to some of this music, and maybe you guys would be really into it. I mean, the Always Cloudy EP is one of my favorite EPs of all time. I bought the vinyl at that show.
Really?
Yeah, we listen to it all the time.
I think you mentioned my vinyl. I forgot.
Yeah, I bought it immediately when I was there. I saw it. I'm like, I gotta have this because we just got a nice vinyl player, record player. So
Nice.
I'm pumped, and so now I'm trying to build my collection. But that one is such a precious one, part of my collection now.
You're so
Yeah,
happy.
but that show was epic, man. Those shows too. Anymore, a lot of bands that we like, they blow up and then they start playing arenas. Shout out Sleep Token. I can't afford your tickets, and it sucks. I saw you at House of Blues, and it was awesome. With Polyphia, it was amazing. But then, now you've blown up, and I can't afford your tickets. But these Midwest emo bands,
Yes.
I can afford their tickets. And
And when the Midwest emo blows up,
yeah.
you can still afford their
You
tickets.
can still afford their tickets. So, yeah, they'll go up like $10.
Peak is like House of Blues
Yeah,
for
man.
these guys.
I
But,
love it.
love them. They're great. It's kind of honestly the easiest sound to start.
Yeah.
Like Sleep Token, they were left field, which is why they blew up. Like they reinvented, they made their own genre, really. And ever since you brought up Sleep Token, I've been all in, man.
I love it. I love to
We were
hear
at Brewlands last night or 2 nights ago, and
Yeah.
somebody put it on. You were just holding the pool sticks going. And then immediately after it was like Redneck Yacht Club, and after that it was like Wet Ass Pussy. And we were like, all right, that's Brewlands.
Welcome to Polk County.
I love a shared jukebox. It's fun.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love watching the memes of people like, it's of George Bush at that his recent meme where he was like at the inauguration.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
he's just like, you know what I mean? But it'll be like the meme will be like queued up like this.
Yeah,
heavy,
emergence goes
knocked
on.
loose at a local bar. And, you're just waiting to see everybody's reaction.
Yeah.
You know?
So, do you know about the Weatherman in Sleep Token?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
a
that's-
little bit.
That's what I like about. I think
It's
she was gonna come up at some point. Crazy, she comes up on the first episode, but Taylor Swift has started like a new wave in music where like there's like an elevated entertainment to the songs and the live shows and everything because
Oh, yeah.
she teases and hides.
Well, she's
and, like,
amazing.
She like engages
Yeah.
the fans, and then Sleep Token to come through and like work with a weatherman in Raleigh, North Carolina
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
to start dropping clues. Like I give that to Taylor Swift. Like
Yeah.
that entertaining on the medium and getting engagement and
Yeah.
dropping and sneaking and
Yeah.
Easter eggs and
Well, that's why her tour stays sold out, and she's
Yeah.
able to sell out the biggest venues in the
Right,
world
right.
because
And the same with
her
Sleep.
concerts. Well, it's like her. I know, like another one is Coldplay. They have one of the best live experiences ever, and it's like
Really?
whether or not you like Coldplay, their shows are incredible,
Mm.
and it's the same with Taylor Swift. They have those bands, they
Right,
comes with
right,
it, and it's
right,
all
right.
synced up, so it's like
Yeah, yeah.
this whole show. It's very engaging. So it's like even if you're not a fan of the music, I mean. The
Right.
show is worth going to. It always is.
yeah, and of
That's
course
why.
everyone wants to, like take little things and say, oh well, it's been done before. Well, it's been done before, and like
Everything
sure
for
it
the most
has, but like
Yeah.
she did a lot of it right,
man,
which is
yeah.
really dope. Like
Nothing
I was
but
telling my
respect for
sister,
Taylor Swift, man.
my sister's a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I was like, I sent her something about like people at a Paramore concert trading wristbands or whatever. And my sister thought I was like dogging Taylor Swift.
Oh, really?
And she was like, I know the punk scene's been doing it for a long time and this and that. I was like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But like apparently like early Paramore shows, they were trading bracelets and
awesome.
stuff. Like that was, and then Taylor Swift just kind of, that's her whole thing. She
We're
takes
gonna
the
do a
brand. and
Paramore
runs it.
episode, and we're gonna
Fucking
do a Sleep
for
Token.
sure.
Just putting that
The
out.
Paramore episode will feature the special guest of Cameron Hatch.
And
She is one of the
we might
biggest-
even get
Haley
Rachel in
Williams.
there too, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, because she got to see them and like live.
Yeah.
It's
And-
this amazing show. I'd love for her to tell that story.
We'll
'cause it's
do
an
a
epic
quick
concert.
tease. Somebody here actually knows Haley Williams. Bum, bum, bum.
Okay, I used to play drums for
There you go. Heck yeah,
Secret
dude.
out.
No, I grew up in Franklin, Tennessee. So when I was a kid, that's where I lived, and Paramore's from Franklin. And yeah, I got to meet Haley and her younger sister And they would come over to my dad's house and we'd play, you know, like Crash Bandicoot and just like hang out. But Haley was a dancer at the time, and I was not close with her by any means. I knew her, I'd met her, and she was kind of, you know, she was more friends with my dad and then Kelly King, who was an artist my dad was working with at the time. But Kelly was also she's in entertainment. She's a wonderful singer and dancer and entertainer. And she was working with Haley at this like dance studio, and so I never knew anything else other than that. Right. Fast forward, you know, a few years, I'm down living here in Florida, and my dad's like, "Hey, you heard the band Paramore?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You know, that's Haley." I'm like, "Haley from Franklin? Haley what?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Get the hell out of here, dude. Are you kidding me? This is
Pretty cool.
insane." But I've yet to see them live.
You've never seen Paramore live?
I've never had the opportunity to see them live.
All right, next Paramore show.
I'm
Next
dying to.
TikTok.
I have missed it every time we've been gone. It's just always
Really?
been some. Yeah, it's been a series of unfortunate events.
Man, so right before I got into the scene, you know, Cameron and I, we actually, I don't know, man. The only reason that we kept seeing each other was because of Paramore. Not the only reason, but it was like her roommate worked with me, and she was like, "Oh, you guys both love Paramore. You know, maybe you guys will hit it up."
Yeah.
And like, no, we both loved Paramore.
That's an amazing
And-
thing to bond over.
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
your relationship on such a solid foundation like
but
that.
like, so
You guys are solid.
that was 2018, and obviously I knew,
Yeah.
you know, like Riot, right?
Oh,
and
so
like, you know, all the songs on that album, those were like my.
That's still
my-
my
But
favorite.
really,
Yeah.
my Paramore is After Laughter. Like her
Really?
really new sound.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what like
great.
like before I met her, you know, I was sharing stuff on Facebook saying like, "Oh, the algorithm caught me," and you know, it's nothing but Haley Williams and Paramore.
Uh-huh.
But it was After Laughter that like really got me hooked. I'm late to a lot of things. Like I'm also a big, huge fucking Marvel fan. Obviously,
We got the.
I was pretty late to that. Like
Same.
I hate to admit it, but like, what? Like late to Marvel stuff or?
Yeah, me, like I'm late with a lot of things. Like I kind of steer away from a lot of the popular things, like when they first come out, and then later I'm like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
me
The
and
older I've gotten, the better I've gotten about that because
Right.
I was a big hater. I was just like, I'm not listening to this. This is stupid, you know. But then now I'm like, that was really good, man. Now I just don't care.
Right.
You just start to give less of a fuck the older you get too. But
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
yeah,
But now that I'm into this kind of stuff, you know, like it sparked like a huge connection between us.
yeah, man. I love it. That's my favorite thing to do. Is like just talk to my friends about music. I
Yeah.
love that, and I can't do that with everybody because believe it or not, so many people are like, yeah, I listen to music. You know, that's their. I'm like, okay, what do you? I love everything. I'm like, oh, really? Do
Right.
you like this? No. Do you like this? No. What do you like? Oh, I like what everybody else generally likes. You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
like, okay, like I can't ever connect with those kind of people because
Right,
you
right.
guys just don't. You don't get it. You don't have it.
But could you imagine being a big fan of Midwest emo like myself and having to like defend it or pitch it in any capacity? It doesn't go well. Like, oh, you really got to listen to this song. And then like 5 seconds in, they go,
yeah.
And it can be like that for a lot of the bands. A lot of them, I'll listen to them.
For
like,
sure,
it's
for
not
sure.
for me.
That's
And
what-
then I'll hear them. Oh, I love this. This is so fun.
I'll be out in the garage jamming, you know, putting my drums together or whatever. And I threw like Carly Cosgrove on or something, and Kelsey's like, "Is this supposed to be good?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's supposed to sound like
Yeah,
this."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I enjoy it.
Same with, I mean, you know, same with Cameron too, you know, but like, you know, she definitely understands. Like, hey, you know, people like different things.
Yeah. No, we heard Harrison Gordon came on in the car. It was Kirby Down. Is that what
Kirby Down B.
Yeah. That came on. That's like probably my favorite from them. Honestly, it's that little guitar that it just makes me happy, man. I love it. But we were playing in the car on the way to Orlando yesterday, and Rachel, we just were vibing and having a good time in the car, and she was like, "This is so fun." I'm like, "We're going to see them next week, man. They're opening up for a free throw." I'm like, so excited.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so
man.
excited for that.
So yeah, he shout out Free Throw. That's the shirt he's
Yeah.
wearing. We're gonna get into that in another episode because we got a show coming up. But I'm excited.
For sure. Yeah, this free throw show is gonna be like the full circle for me, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because free throw, Saturdays kind of started this, but like free throw started my love for Midwest emo, really. You know, like
That was like your first band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I had to point directly
That's
to of this, you know, because like, you know, Mayday Parade is one of my bands.
Yeah.
Paramore is one of my bands, but like Free Throw is like the start of kind of like, I don't know, like truly like relating to.
It's like the
that.
seed that has
They had
all
the
these
first.
brands. Yeah.
They had the first song that I played 100 times on repeat. You know what I mean? Like
nice.
that's them. Where I'm just like, this is just.
Which song?
It was Smokes Let's Go.
Oh yeah, you showed me that song.
Yeah, that's the song that I show to everybody. That's the one that I'm like screaming in my car until I have no breath left.
Yeah.
Like just, that's also a song that they haven't played in a really long time.
Oh, maybe.
It
fingers
definitely,
crossed.
fingers crossed, you know.
Just scream it loud and say, please.
I want to take a fucking sign, but I know that stuff is so mute because like, nah, they have a plan. Like, there's a lot of stuff right.
And they're on like their 10-year anniversary, and are
That's so weird too. I want to be like, hey, can you guys play the song? But like, you know, this is
Send them a
their-
DM, man. What's the worst that can happen?
yeah.
They-
We gotta pause on this though, because like this is we'll,
Yeah,
we'll get
okay,
into free throw. We'll get into free throw
Anyways,
for sure.
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
get into that in another episode.
But yeah, I think that that could about do it for our first episode.
Hey, well, cheers, guys. Here's episode 1 of Breaking Down Breakdowns. I love you guys. Cheers.